Hello, I am live. I am a couple minutes late because ADHD attacks. It is a real thing. I'm gonna hang out for a couple of minutes and wait for people to join on live. And if you're watching the replay, shout out to you. Welcome so much. I am going to open up all the questions. Talk to me and talk to you. I'm like so obsessed with a brat. I am like really into it. Charlie. Welcome. If you're joining live, we're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. This is zapping into alignment. That is the vibe of this live. Can I title this? Okay, cool. All right. Okay. I'm going to take a few grounding, deep breaths. Welcome if you're hopping in live. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm just going to start with a few deep breaths. This is like my little energy hygiene process. I'm big on energy hygiene. So I'm just going to like imagine myself connecting to the earth. And you know, my feet, I'm standing up right now. You might be sitting, you might be laying down, standing, wherever you're positioned. Just notice the parts of your body that are touching the ground or touching something that is holding you up. And just allow the earth to come in and clear your energy of all energy that's not yours. The earth is literally so smart, so intelligent, and loves you so much. And without much effort, all energy that is not yours is just cleared and cleansed. And the earth is now supporting you in reclaiming all of your energy, all of your power back into wholeness. There might be millions of different parts of you and sides of you and all the things. And here we're just coming into our wholeness, and the earth is supporting us in doing that. Now tuning into the cosmos, the heavens, the planets, the stars, the sky, the Akash. The Akash is coming in alongside the earth and just clearing and cleansing all energy that is not yours. Just letting it go so easily, so effortlessly with every breath you take. And the cosmos is also supporting you in reclaiming all of your energy and reintegrating back into wholeness. You can imagine the earth and the cosmos meeting in your heart space and integrating and just moving and going everywhere that it can. And now to protect our aura, imagine a protective symbol for you. For me right now, I'm in a season where my protective symbol is the rose, because Tasha Nassar says the thorns on a rose are its boundaries. So I'm imagining a rose as big as my energy body, just expanding, protecting, clearing any energy leaks, anything that might need some TLC. And I am safe. I am here. I am grounded. I am protected. Period. I'm going through this phase with my Scorpio moon where it's like the vibe is like, I am protected. I am worth protecting. And taking actions in alignment with that has really been my vibe. So, oh my gosh, big brain, bigger heart. I'm so cute. Thank you so much, Sam. I received that. So let's get started with the live. If you're here live, feel free to jump in the chat. I will also, towards the end, if there's time, if you want to get some hot seat coaching, we can do that. Maybe we'll like spice it up and we'll do hot seat, we'll do a Q&A, hot seat Q&A. But before we get into all of that, I have two things I want to share. One is this week was the eclipse. Did you feel that? It's the first eclipse, every eclipse season. It's every 6 months. There's going to be 2 eclipses. Sometimes if the nodes are getting crazy, there'll be 3 eclipses. That happened like spring, early summer 2020, for example. Crazy year, right? Yeah. This time we had the eclipse in Pisces. And for me, the biggest thing coming through. Hello, everyone joining live. Yes, I am a Scorpio moon. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see everyone. The biggest theme for this eclipse is boundaries. And don't mind my ADHD brain. We will be hopping and skipping along. But yes, boundaries are really big. This full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces was co-present with Saturn. And Saturn is a planet that restricts, that says no, that builds walls, that sets boundaries. And literally, I've had to take really big action steps in, who's allowed in my space? How are people allowed to talk to me? What will I put up with? And how will I stand my ground? And there's a couple other of my friends that we've been talking about all the things. Shout out to Maria and Nikki. We're all setting big boundaries. So I think that is the biggest theme with this. And the ruler of this eclipse is Jupiter in Gemini. And Jupiter in Gemini is, there is so much nuance, and don't let holding nuance or holding multiple perspectives stop you from taking the action that you need to protect yourself. You can still be compassionate, still be kind, hold multiple truths, and also be like, and I feel this way, and I'm going to honor and protect myself. So that's the solar or lunar eclipse in Pisces. And we have an upcoming solar eclipse in Libra. It's around 10 degrees. And this is our final eclipse in Libra for like 9 years. We have one more eclipse in Aries next springtime. And then that Aries Libra chapter is like wrapped up, that eclipse storyline. Eclipses, I like to describe them as like when fate takes the wheel. Saturn next to the moon was so magical. Oh my God, an eclipse with Saturn, and like the sun is opposite Saturn. And so like she was shining bright. She is so cute. And so with the Libra eclipse, it is with the South Node. So if you're feeling energy drained, especially where your Libra placements are, like I know as a Libra rising, this last like year and a half, a little over a year, the moment the South Node entered my first, like energy drain. I've been navigating a lot of health stuff, energy levels, like doing less is more has really been the South Node energy. And so as we go into this Libra eclipse, I haven't fully seen the chart of it at the moment. Maybe I'll do that in another live. Just really understanding what relationships you're letting go of, what ways of relating and connecting that you're letting go of, and also like artistic or creative expressions. Like what is it time to let go of? For me, South Node in Libra, I'm done with people pleasing. And something I've like really come to terms with is like my friends that I really trust. I trust that when they say yes, and I trust when they say no, because they're not people pleasing. And, I've done a lot of work on that. However, there are some relationships where I would notice that part of me come up, and I'm really saying hell fucking no to that. I'm cutting that shit off. And, Mars is in Cancer during this. So like emotional protection and, prioritizing your comfort over other people's comfort. Yeah. I think there are healthy boundaries with that. And at the same time, that's the vibe. Okay. And then the second thing I want to say is I am launching a program called Walk Your Walk. It is 6 weeks to zap you into alignment, and the sales page is pretty cute if I do say so myself. I sent it out in an email, and I'll update my links in bio afterward. And right now I'm having a really, really cute trust fall pricing where it is at a reduced rate. So head to, I think in my stories, if you go to work with me, this will be, you can see the package details, and I'll post the sales page later. I'm so excited to share more. Okay, now let's get into the Q&As. Okay, so I saw that Max was here, and Max asked me a question. So if Max, you want to come on live, let me know. Oh my gosh, Cap. Okay, I see Cap's request, so I'm going to accept hers, and we can go with that first. There's so many cute people here. Love to see you all. Okay, I'll give it a minute to see if Cap comes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I did not. I put it in the chat. I was like, I didn't mean to request to be in. I'm washing my dishes right now, like watching the TV.
That is so funny.
But I'm here in support, and I think it's amazing, and I love your voice. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna exit myself back out.
Perfect. Do your
Oh
thing.
my God, no, I'm gonna be on TV. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, cute. Okay, perfect. So yes, Max, if you're here, let me know. You can hit the request to join and I will accept you. So I'll give a minute to doing dishes. Oh, I am honored to be here to entertain you during your mundane tasks. Thank you so much. That's really heartwarming. Okay, cute. So it looks like Max isn't responding, so I am going to start with the questions. So someone asked about any eclipse guidance, and the person who asked this is a Libra. And another Libra asked me this question, which is I'm a Libra and have been feeling extremely hermit crabby with my closest relationships. I want to end them all, but I know I just need a break to recover from the stress of last year. Damn. Oh, no worries, Max. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Okay. So when I saw this and I knew this friend of mine was a Libra, I was like, yep, yep. So as I mentioned, the South Node has been in Libra, and we've been having eclipses in Libra and Aries. And this person has their sun in Libra and it's fallen. Actually, both people who asked this. And when the sun is in Libra, while it is a beautiful placement, just because something has fallen doesn't mean there's amazingness in it. And there are struggles with solar themes, which is having a sense of self, maybe overly finding yourself in other people, being really focused. Your identity is more oriented towards we and us rather than me, and this is who I am. And so when we have this part of our chart really activated via eclipses, especially the South Node, there's a big letting go, a purging, a draining of relationships that really reinforce those patterns. Um, one of the Libras is a manifester, and then the other Libra is a projector. And so, really quickly, I want to call out to all my projectors who are here. If you're a projector type in human design, if you're feeling unseen, unappreciated, under recognized, that leads to bitterness. Okay. And then pair that with this person also being a Libra and then also having a completely open G center. Completely open G center, Mirror Ball by Taylor Swift. She also has an undefined G center. That song, it's like, I just want to be everything for everyone. I just want to entertain everyone, like other people. Yes. I'm going to perform for you. And so, this transit, these eclipses are really orienting you to how you relate to people and, what needs to change and shift. If you want to, if a Libra placement is like, I don't want to be around people, you know, you need new people. And as a projector, you need people who see you and recognize you. Oh my gosh, one of the Libras is here. Hello. So I was answering your question along with another person who is a Libra sun. And so I was saying, Karen, that the eclipses are about like letting go of the old ways of relating, people pleasing, making other people more comfortable. And yeah, basically, if a Libra doesn't want to hang out with people, you need new people. Yes. And so, yeah. If you have an undefined G center like this person, put yourself in environments that you want to be in, okay? Projectors have really insightful auras, right? They can really like get into things, really understand things, see things that they can't. So imagine your insights like a lighthouse, right? A lighthouse stands there and is lit up and is ready to go and protect whatever sailors roll by. But the lighthouse does not chase the sailors, right? And so when you work on yourself, you know, take action, put yourself in areas where other people can see you doing your thing and be that lighthouse, baby. People will invite you, people will recognize you. And as a projector, this is a projector gift. Sometimes I wish I was one. Success is just a natural byproduct of like being in alignment with yourself. Like I think of like Gary Vee, Ariana Grande, Cardi B, Taylor Swift. What all those four people have in common? Captolia, who is here. They're all splenic projectors. And I just think the splenic projector, Kinsey Madsen, is like the marketing genius because you can just be instinctual and just move. Oh my God, Michaela, yes. Oh my gosh, you're also a splitting projector. I don't think I knew that, or I didn't remember that. And exactly, minding your business and letting people who come to you, especially if you have a 5 line in your profile. I don't remember what this person has. The 5th line and the 2nd line also are like mirror, a hall of mirrors, lots of projections, and the 2nd line gets projections and wants to hermit and run away. And the 5 line is like, bitch, who gives a fuck what you think? I want to solve problems and send my message out, right? And that's the energy. And so just embrace that. Be yourself, mind your business, and just share what you need to share. The 5th line is all about sharing messages and like solving problems. Okay. And what else did I write for this person? Emotionally process and work through what is coming up for you in the bitterness. And sometimes clearing your energy body, like that's why I'm so big on energy hygiene, just like giving all energy that's not mine to the earth, to the sky, clear, cleanse, delete, inhale, exhale, bye, strengthen my aura, because we truly cannot do any emotional work, any inner work, any energy work on energy that's literally not ours. Like if you're holding on to someone else's fear, no matter how many times you're journaling on the fear, babes, if it's not yours, it's not going anywhere. And so clearing your energy, I just think that simple action is just so freaking helpful, um in general. Oh my God, thank you, Michaela. And yes, the 2nd line hermiting is real. As a 6-2, I feel that. Okay, so that is the first question, and the second question I've answered. And then also want to shout out to Karen, who's a Libra, who's a manifester and not a projector. If you are a manifester and a Libra sun, embrace your repelling aura, okay? It's not that manifestors are repelling because they're not cool or they're weird or they're like pushy. Manifestors are just such a specific energy that is here to initiate what you're uniquely here to initiate. And if other people don't fuck with it, your energy repels them, right? Like my mom is a manifestor and she can just push through. Now, she's an Aries rising. Now, Karen, I know you're a Libra sun. And so, really letting go of people pleasing and radically setting boundaries. The North Node is transiting your 7th, or not your 7th, you're a Sag rising, but the North Node is transiting opposite your sun in Aries. And so, that activates the 7th house from your sect light, whatever the technical things. But really, like, I think all Libra placements, including me, are really learning, like, we gotta have sharp communication with other people. And, like, we just gotta be quick to cut shit off. Like, there's a phrase in business, like, hire slow, fire fast or something. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But in the context of like who gets close to us past a certain threshold, I do think Libra placements need to be a little bit savage, be ruthless, cut that shit off. That's something I've been doing this week. Yes, embracing the repelling aura. And then when the manifestor aura is like in its magic, it is like you are the fucking queen or king in the room. You're the royal person. Like, think about a royal. Like, they need to have a closed off aura because when all the people see them, you cannot know what the king or queen or the royal is initiating. Like that's a process that's happening internally. And so embrace that aura, that powerful, powerful initiating aura. And yeah, I love it so much. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to check in. Max, let me know if you're ready to come on live. And otherwise, let me see what other question should I do next. Oh my gosh, so many cute people. Hello. Waving at all the people. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to quickly answer a human design question that's pretty simple. It's the channel of money. What the hell is the channel of money? So I actually have this full channel. It is 21 to 45, connecting the ego center to the throat center. It is a manifested channel. So if you have this channel defined in your chart and it's the only channel you have, you will be a manifester. So it's a very initiating energy, and it's also a part of the community circuit. Cute, Max. I will answer this question quickly and let you come on. And if I were to rename this channel, I would call it the channel of resourcing because it is not a self oriented channel. It is a community oriented channel. And the whole theme of it is how can I resource myself and others in my community and the people I share space with? I want to empower both myself and others through heart centered resources. And so me having this channel, like even when I'm just very generous by nature, I just love to share. I love to share astrology knowledge to people and, read their chart and all these things. And so owning my worth has become a part of that, especially since that is my business. That is my life's work. Like I'm getting paid to do that. And so creating boundaries around that so the people I'm resourcing can do it the best. And it's also like this energy of gathering together. Gate 45 is called gathering together in the I Ching. And that is all about like being so resourced that you invite everyone and you host a thing and you share your resources with everyone, but you are still the royal in the house. So that is the energy. Yes, the channel number is 2145. Yeah, 21 in the heart connected to 45 in the throat. Okay, Max, I'm going to bring you on. Hello.
Hello, Fred.
Hello, friend. Long time no chat. How are you doing?
Pretty well. How you doing?
I'm doing
Rod,
great. I feel really excited right now. And I was excited when I saw your question. So I'm just like pulling up your chart. Don't mind me. I'm going to read your question out loud and then I'll kind of hand the baton to you to kind of elaborate or share anything else you would like to. So your question is you're a Leo, you're a 6-2 manifester, you're 37 years old. You've had this realization that you've been playing life on hard mode. And a recent relationship uncovered childhood trauma, and you're feeling tired, reflective, and hermity. And also, what the fuck is up? That's a real question for an astrologer. Um, oh, Michaela, that's the gate of the king and queen. So love that. Anyways, yeah, so that is your vibe right now. Is there anything else you want to share?
no, it's just exhausting.
Yeah, yeah, I know that feel. So just for the traumatic childhood part, I just want to share something. This is my story, rather than giving advice. And then I'll give you advice unique to your chart. But in 2016, when I was studying astrology, a mentor of mine was like, "Hey, have you tried meditation?" And at the same time, my therapist was like, "Hey, have you tried meditating for your anxiety?" So I was like, "I'll fuck around and find out, why not?" And then I unlocked CPTSD. It was obviously still there beforehand, but I was not consciously aware of it. And so I was like, "What the hell is this?" And dealing with the after effects of trauma, like whether, it was ongoing events over time, whether it was multiple different events, whatever your personal experience is, like I just want to send love to you. Like that is so hard. Like it is literally so hard to navigate times in your life where you were not safe and protected and not seen. And so there is that note. I don't know why my human design website is not loading right now. So I'm just going to look at your astrology chart. And you are Leo sun. You've got a Sagittarius moon and rising. So you're very fiery. You have a couple placements in Cancer and your midheaven is in Libra. And so I know like you're a business owner, you do personal training and like lots of movement stuff. And what I'm really seeing from this, and this is something you might already know, is just like your career is rooted in community and the people that you know. And like that is really like the structure of it. I actually have a similar thing. My midheaven is in the 11th house. And it's very much this energy of like, we're coming together. We're climbing up this mountain together. You know what I mean? It's very much tuned into the network. What do my people need? And I think you actually do a pretty good job of that. Like in your stories, you're like, hey, how can I help you? All those kinds of things. And that's actually really nice as a manifester. Well, kind of. One piece where this might not be as helpful as a manifester is it actually, you're not here to respond to things. So you're not here to be like, hey, Max, like, I want to master squats. Can you do a class on squats? Like, sure, like you could do that and it's fun. But what would actually be energizing is doing what you want. And kind of what I said to Karen earlier, trusting that when you put yourself out there, your people will find you and the people who are not for you will be repelled. But there's this energy of you need to initiate shit. You need to do what you want. You actually have that channel of money that I just described like 2 minutes ago. You have that channel. You have the channel of initiation and you have the channel of surrender and curiosity. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds like you. With the channel of surrender, you really need to like let go of what you think you need to transmit. You need to just surrender and like let what comes through comes through. I also call this a channel of entrepreneurship. So, just an affirmation there because it is gate 44 in the spleen, which is in Scorpio, is all about what is it about? It's about recognizing patterns. It's about seeing trends. It's about seeing things over time. What repeats, what doesn't repeat, all of that. But it also, because it's in the spleen, has a survival fear. And this is the fear of repeating the past. And I actually have this. And I have experienced some business trauma. And so, like, we've talked about that since you're also a Houston friend. And so, like really when you're putting yourself out there again and you're doing things really embracing like it does not have to be the same as the past, you know what I mean? This is a new moment, basically letting your nervous system know that, because it's like when you see patterns you can see where they're going to go. And so giving yourself permission to like not every pattern that your nervous system is noticing because your nervous system is likely on hyper alert because of experiencing trauma, not all those things mean everything.
You
So
don't know
like
me.
and and then your Sagittarius placements, they love making meaning. Like, what does this mean?
Oh
Haha.
yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to know what that shit means, okay? You don't really need to know. Um,
Yeah.
And a gift of Gate 44 is because it is also community oriented, it is sniffing out what people need. Okay. And so find that intersection of like, what do I want to initiate and what do my people need? How can I resource them? And really get specific with your messaging. And I think that can support you that wise. Let me see the question again. Reflective, tired, harmony. And I think that will energize you. Don't be in response, be in initiation. Um, your sun is in gate 33. So you're here to really be like a library of knowledge. Like I see this as like, you've seen Avatar, right? You know that like owl in that library in the sand desert? Like that's that vibe of gate 33. It's like the historian. You actually have both storytelling gates. And so you have both the woo, let's go on an adventure kind of storytelling, and then also the this is the fact of what happened, and this is the anatomy of this, and this is just the fact of the matter. And you have both of those. And so trust that. I think you really just need there's just surrender. That's really what I'm receiving. And so I'm gonna pause now and let you speak. And yeah.
What's really interesting about that specific tidbit of advice is a common theme is not
Hmm.
so much surrendering into like what I need to initiate, but more
Yeah.
commonly or frequently is this idea that I need to examine existing patterns
Hmm.
and through that examination acknowledge that the patterns have gotten me so far and in their repetition it honestly feels like I'm going up against a brick wall,
Yeah.
right? So recognizing, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm examining patterns. That's really good. These patterns are no longer effective. And it's not that they were effective before, but like you having language for it, I'm now present to the fact that they're no
Yeah.
longer helpful.
Yeah.
So I now have an opportunity to see a potential beyond kind of this rote, scripted
Hmm.
notion. And that's been a powerful shift for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been me and Maria have been working together and hanging out together a lot, and she will ask like, oh man, what was the question? Why do I lose it? Oh, ADHD mind. Coming back to here, I'll say something else and maybe that'll come back to me. But oh, you know, just being able to see outside of the problem, like this is something I'm really big on. I used to do this at the Apple store because I used to work at the Genius Bar, and people would come in with all sorts of problems, all sorts of energy. If you ever worked retail customer service, like it's just it's all sorts of vibes every day. And I would walk into my appointments with this energy of intention of shifting the vibe of the appointment from the problem to the solution. And like I would do, because I was practicing and learning a lot of energy work. So I would energetically do that. And it was actually funny. There would be lots of crazy appointment stories I had. There was one time I brought someone's phone back from the dead. Don't know how I did that. And I was like, wow, that's great. Um, and just this energy of naming things, that's what me and Maria were talking about. Maria and I were saying, just like, she's like, what do you need? And I was like, honestly, sometimes I just need to name some shit. And then once I name it, it does not have that same power over me. And then as a manifester, I'm a manifesting generator. So like we have a little bit of overlap. Taking action is literally the vibe. Like you just need to sometimes, and sometimes trauma, like I can get into freeze response or functional freeze. So like when I'm in functional freeze, I'm really good at doing things that are not emotionally relevant to me. Like when I worked at the Apple store, I could go in and just do my job, leave, perfect. However, when it's like my business, when it's something that's like my heart is so in it, because I'm like, this is literally my life's work. And I know you feel that way about movement and helping people like do things with their body, that it is a lot bigger, and our trauma responses are tied up in that. And so just being kind to yourself with freeze, if that is what you experience sometimes. This is annoying probably to you, but like literally shaking my body, doing like movement that is like no agenda can be helpful, or doing like one easy task where I'm just like, there's one dish in the dishwasher. Let me just do that one dish, right? That doesn't always work if there's a whole sink full, but doing the first easy thing. We've talked about ADHD, and yeah, I'll pass the baton to you. And yeah, let me know if you feel complete or if there's anything else.
I feel pretty complete with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to know at some point, and you and I can talk separately about it, more about it's a human design thing. It's a path. I forgot which one it was. Uh, Marie and I had talked about it a while ago.
Is it like the core wound slash vocation? Is that what she's talking about?
Possibly.
On the on the prosperity path?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Um,
That
yours is
sounds right.
actually, yeah. Here's my very one line delineation of this placement. Know that you know your shit and you have resources to offer other people. And that is where you likely feel wounded, and you also likely that is what the path to fulfillment. And so like take dominion over what you know and like own that shit. Like not I don't know the anatomy shit that you know?
Yeah.
So right? And you don't know the astrology stuff that I know. So it's like we resource other people with our knowledge in different ways.
Yeah.
And so lean into that. And
Cool.
yeah,
Cool. I appreciate your time.
you're so
Thank you so much.
welcome. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye bye.
Perfect. Okay. Yay. Okay. How do I? Okay. Perfect. And know that you can have this literally every week when you enroll in Walk by Walk, like me there with you, problem solving and doing all the things. Okay, so next question. If there's anyone that wants to come up and get some hot seat coaching, feel free to request live. I will bring you on after I answer a couple of the questions from my question boxes. Okay, so the one I want to talk about is thank you so much, y'all. I'm receiving all the kind words in the chat. The astrology of my engagement. So this is where I'm just gonna like brag a little bit on my partner. My love, Micah, is so sweet, and I had told him, electional astrology is like important to me, and I just want like all of the beginnings of our relationship. Like if we have agency to choose things, that would be so powerful and meaningful to me. So he hired Kira Ryberg, my sweet colleague, and just she's such a genius astrologer, and she elected our time. And it was on Venus Cazimi this year on June 5th, and we were in Italy, and Jupiter was there. It was a new moon. The moon was applying to Jupiter. It was a Virgo rising chart, which is my partner's 10th house. It is my 12th house, but interestingly, so we did not elect the day that we actually started dating. The moment just happened. And that chart is, first of all, it was at 3:33 p.m. I'm not even kidding. Like he asked me, I said yes, and I tapped his watch and I was like, oh my God, angel number for me. I received that. Cute. Good omen. And our relationship chart is actually also a Virgo rising with Venus in Gemini. And how cute is that? And my chart ruler is Venus in Gemini, and his benefic of Sept, aka the most positive planet in his chart, is Venus in Gemini in the seventh house, and seventh house is relationships. So it was like really perfect, really sweet. And I just truly love him, and it was so magical. So, and now I'm in the like, how do I elect a wedding chart? So that is what I'm doing electionally. Yeah, thank you. It is such a gorgeous election. So grateful. Okay, so I did that question. Someone asked, oh my God, Micah, you're here. Hi, cutie. Okay. Someone asked, how's life? So life right now is a lot, but it's pretty cute. Like there's a lot of good things happening, but there's a lot of big change. In this technique called turn of the soul that I've learned from Dr. Ali Alomi. I'm still learning, but I'm in like it's a pivot year, and the next year is also a pretty pivotal year. And so it feels like this year is like setting up for all the changes of age 29. And so that's kind of cool. And it's giving creative, it's giving doing a lot. I increased my Wellbutrin dose. And so that's been really supporting me on my executive dysfunction. And then my friend Maria and Nikki, they are like, we're working together in these cute ways and supporting each other's businesses. And yeah, so it's a pretty nice season of life, just like a lot and like overwhelming. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, I've answered that. Um, okay. Oh my gosh, heaven. We are quantum leaping together. Oh my God, there's a question about quantum leaping. I'll answer that after I answer Heaven's question. I don't even know if Heaven remembers asking this question, but this was like on Threads a month ago. Yeah, it is pretty good. And you randomly asked on Threads, connecting with Jupiter more, writing, and Mercury, and something about planetary devotion. And so I remember asking you, I was, can I answer this question on my podcast? And then I never recorded the episode. So here we are today answering that question. And planetary devotional work and like building a relationship with planets, like that is really the lens of astrology I really work with. Like these are like living and creating. Oh my gosh, I will answer that question. That's so good, Heaven. But if you want to expand your writing practice with the support of a planetary body, I recommend Mercury. So, Mercury day is Wednesday, Mercury night is Saturday night. And so, creating an altar around mercurial themes for you might be supportive. Or just taking a minute to like honor Mercury. You can get a planetary hour calculator and even look when Mercury hour is. Here's a life hack: whatever planetary day it is, so say it's Wednesday and it's Mercury day, at sunrise, it's always Mercury hour. And there's usually one more sometime in the afternoon. And so that's like an easy way. I'm not always up at sunrise, or I don't want to be bothered to do things at sunrise. However, that's like an easy hack. And yeah, just there are ways you can say the Orphic hymn. You can just express to Mercury what you want. You can offer your favorite pen or any symbols connected to writing and Mercury. And you can look up Hello Astro has great blog posts on different things for different planets, like colors and etc. And so that's how you can create an altar. While Jupiter is transiting Gemini, really holding the zooming in and the zooming out at once is going to be really, really supportive. And sleeping and dreaming, sometimes that's where the best intuitive inspiration comes through. Okay, we love to see it. um and so with Jupiter and Gemini, holding space for multiplicity and letting yourself write, like I don't know, Jupiter and Gemini reminds me, is that Mark Twain or some white guy author from the 18 or 1900s said, I think it was Ernest Hemingway, it like write drunk, edit sober. And so I'm not literally saying get drunk, but like write in this like state of no inhibitions, put it down and then come back to it, and let that kind of expand, let the process of writing expand. Okay, cute. Answered that question. Someone asked about gate 16. Gate 16 in human design is Mercury. Can I type at that? Yes. Like waking up at sun or waking up early at sunrise on Mercury Day and beginning your writing, like that is really nice. That is so supported by time. Like when I say planetary devotional, like you're literally creating a relationship with time. Like time is a felt sense, experience. And then there's like Chronos, which is like the rigid time, and then there is Kairos, which is like this kind of expansive type of time, more felt sense. Um, Sam said, I do my best writing before falling asleep and right after waking up. Yes, Mercury ruling the ninth and 12th. That, the math is mathing. And Heaven, you are also a Libra rising. So hey, Mercury also rules those houses for you. Okay, cute. So writing, da 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 da. Gate 16. Gate 16 is the gate of like skills and talents. It is in Gemini. And basically follow your interests and like over time you're gonna gain so many cool skills and talents if you have gate 16 in your chart. Okay, Gemini, I answered that already. Slay. Okay, someone asked me, oh, I'll answer quantum leaping. Quantum leaping. Okay, so someone asked, why don't you believe in quantum leaping? And I was like, it's not that I don't believe in quantum leaping, but I'm kind of over just this culture of like push yourself outside of your window of tolerance to pursue your dreams and da 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 da. Like, girl, that's not sustainable. That's not mentally healthy. And quantum leaps can happen. And for example, someone who I'd say has recently quantum leaped is Leah from Love Island. She's one of the breakout stars, and she went from 12,000 Instagram followers. I think she's like over 3 million. Okay, like, wow, that is a quantum leap if I've ever seen one, right? And she probably wasn't expecting that, right? Like she wasn't like, I gotta make this very, very huge goal happen. And so this element of detachment is what I really want to emphasize, which is actually, you know, Max asked about his core wound slash vocation. This is mine, detachment and celebration. And so Leah is probably like riding the high. Of course, there's the cons of becoming social media famous, but really living it up, celebrating all these things that she didn't really expect. So I think when we soften our approach to our goals, when we soften and we're kind to ourselves, like think about, you know, maybe this won't resonate for everyone, but like I think about my younger self and like my younger self, because of my experiences, did not have the opportunity to learn skills while making mistakes, right? I was expected, I gotta be so good at this right away, which is like kind of crazy. Like that is an unrealistic expectation for a child, right? So I think of like, how would younger me want to have learned the skill of like organizing? Like I struggle with organizing, Virgo in the 12th house. And that's a skill I can learn. And so I think instead of focusing on the end result of quantum leaping, I emphasize the process of change and the process of growth and the process of becoming the person that you want to be. I heard this quote once that was like, someone was like, if I could have all my wildest dreams come true like tomorrow, like I wake up tomorrow and I wake up to my dream life, she said, I don't really want that. I don't really want that because the process of making that life happen will help me be the person who can handle that. You know, I think about in psychology classes, we learned about people who won lottery tickets. If you ever win a lottery ticket, do not let anyone know. Okay, do not let anyone know. Keep that my Scorpio in a second. Keep that shit to yourself and protect that. Okay, anyways, I don't even play the lottery, but I've always thought that if I won the lottery, that is what I would do. Um, I will not tell anyone, but there will be signs. Um, anyways, but people who win the lottery often end up at the same exact place they were in life or even worse off. And so we really have to change from the inside out. And that's really what my work is about, like being the person that navigates this, being in the process, enjoying the process. Like yeah. So that is how I feel about quantum leaping. Don't focus on the end result. I think you can timeline jump, you can quantum leap, you can change all the things, you can make these powerful decisions. All I think timeline jumping is making such a powerful decision at a spiritual, energetic level that reality has no choice but to rearrange for you. And sometimes people are not in the mental state to make that level of decision because that is very energetically powerful. This week on the eclipse, that is what I did. I set boundaries. I said, these are the standards of how people treat me. And if you do not treat me like that, you are not welcome in my space. I honor you as an expression of the divine. And babes, you're not welcome here because I'm prioritizing my comfort. And I made that decision at such a powerful level. And I took actions that aligned with that decision. Okay. If you're ready to timeline jump, I have a free meditation at the link in my bio. It is fire, if I do say so myself. And I think that's actually where this person heard me say, I don't believe in quantum leaping. And that is really what I was trying to communicate. I think you can change your life at whatever rate you're fated to. And sometimes that's quick, and sometimes that takes its time. And yeah, enjoy the process, enjoy life. Life is not about the goals, life is about goals bring fulfillment. like I think about Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius is the archer. And like I had a astrology mentor say this. She was like, Jupiter, rules Sagittarius because if what you're aiming at is large and is expansive, you're gonna have a much higher chance of hitting the bullseye or hitting the somewhere on your target. But if say like I think a disoriented Sagittarius, when they don't have direction, and this can be relevant to the Sagittarius part of your chart, excuse me, that can be really, really difficult, really, really difficult. And so that's what goals give us. It gives us faith. It gives us optimism. I'm working towards something. And so it's not about the goal. It's about what the goal can do for us. And that's literally what my work is about. Like it's not about creating a specific 10K month, this kind of job, this kind of thing. It's like, what do you want? What do you actually value? What does your astrology and human design say? How can we implement this? How can we support your subconscious mind and your energy body in making this happen? So that happens. Oh, my guy can relate to that Sag part. My Sagittarius rising babes. I love him. Neopets Archer game. Oh my God, I love Neopets. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think knowing you has changed my life for the better. Learning astrology from you is rocket emoji. I love that. Thank you so much, Jen. Um, Yes. And then Heaven asked a question earlier that I wanted to answer, which is if projectors wait for the invitation or recognition and manifestors initiate, what do generators do? So the generator strategy, it is this energy of, do you know when you learn a new word and then everyone and their mama is now using that word and you're like, I swear to God, no one was saying, like, what's a crazy word? I don't know. I can't think of a word. Like Hellenistic. Say someone Hellenistic astrology is introduced to you, and then all of a sudden you hear Greek culture, Hellenism, Stoic philosophy, and it's like what? And so what generators and mani-gens are meant to do, we have an open aura. So projectors have a focused aura, manifestors have a closed aura, and generators we have an open aura, and then reflectors they have a Teflon or like kind of protected sensitive aura. And so, generators, we are designed to engage with reality. So, if we get an idea, an inspiration, we note it down. We might tell someone, we put it somewhere until the world brings us something to respond to. It's that feeling of like, oh my God, we should take a girls' trip to Iceland. And then, like, things happen. It's almost like the algorithm of life. Yeah, the algorithm of life. And you're just here to respond to things outside of you, and you respond well to yes or no questions. If you have an emotional authority, take your time, sleep on it, and make decisions from a place of emotional neutrality. If you have a sacral authority, if you're clear of other people's energy, you can actually make decisions pretty quick. Note to self, and always for generators and mani-gens, follow the energizing option. Follow the energizing option. Even if it like doesn't logically make sense, follow your energy. And like you are here to be satisfied, and that feeling and understanding, also creating boundaries of when is enough. Like the other day, and what I'm practicing doing is I've done enough work today. I'm satisfied. I'm gonna put this down. That is generator energy. Okay, cute. The next question is explain perfections like I am fine. Like I am five, excuse me. So annual perfections is a astrology timing technique. And what it does is I recommend looking up like annual perfections, Libra rising, annual perfections, Sag rising, whatever your rising sign is. Go to Google Images, people have already made these graphics of like what age and what sign is associated with what age for you. So it assigns one house slash sign per year, and slowly it activates every 12 years. It activates every single house. And it really shows us what chapter of life am I in for this age. Another really useful thing it does is whatever sign, planets, placements that are inside that house, and the ruler of that um, sign is now your time lord. So say, for example, I'm in a Saturn perfection year. Okay, so like most years, Saturn retrograde might be whatever. But like this year, I might feel that inward processing, that kind of moving back to move forward, looking back at what I've done a little bit louder over the few months that Saturn goes retrograde every year. Like Saturn retrograde is loudest towards the stations, and then it's retrograde for a few months every year. So is Jupiter, and so is literally every outer planet. So that's important to note. And yeah, that's what it emphasizes. And like there's some cute connections like houses and themes like 16 and pregnant. 16 is a fifth house perfection year, and children are one of the themes. Children and sex are one of the themes of the fifth house. But there's also fifth house themes of partying and entertainment and having fun. And there's also the show My Super Sweet 16. Y'all remember that from MTV? Yeah. So like 16 has that flavor of a year for everyone. 23, like this is a pretty common one. That Blink 182 lyric, no one likes you when you're 23. Like, and you're in a 12th house year. It's a year where you're here to retreat a little bit. You're here to confront your suffering. You're here to, you know, be in isolation a little bit. It's not a social year. Now, of course, nuances for what placements and things you have, but that is basically annual perfections explained to you. I hope a 5-year-old will understand that. And something I've learned from Islamic astrology from Dr. Ali A. Alomi is that signs are more emphasized than the houses. So, like, I'm in a fifth house here. So, instead of focusing on the fifth house, focus on Aquarius first, and my law of fortune in Aquarius, and my IC in Aquarius, and like my Uranus in Aquarius. Those are going to be louder than, and just the themes of Aquarius and Saturn rather than focusing on the fifth house. While Hellenistic astrology emphasizes the houses as well and looks to the planetary lord or the ruling planet of that sign. So for Aquarius, it's Saturn, and that's like your time lord. So if they're like in a Gemini perfection year, Mercury. So like heaven is in a 10th house perfection year and is in a Libra rising. So the moon is the time lord. And the rhythm of the year, because the moon is kind of the timing boss, every 2.5 days, there's a vibe shift for people going through Cancer perfection years. And Jen said, I'm in my 7th house for less than 2 more months, ruled by Jupiter, my fave. I love that. That is so cute. Very cute. Okay. Are there any more questions, or did I answer them all? Done, 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 done. I answered them all. Slay. Okay, so we have some time for hot seat coaching. If there are any more people, beautiful people here that would love to receive support live, you can just hit the request to join live. And while I wait for y'all to do that, I'm going to share a little bit more about Walk Your Walk. And so Walk Your Walk, it's like if you're ready to root into your core values, implement astrological and human design wisdom, and redefine success that is unique to you so that your life is lighter, more magical, more fulfilling, you're confident and you're decisive. Goodbye decision fatigue. You're walking with your fate and your natural blueprint rather than against it. You want to develop a spiritual practice that's true to you and your values, take action in alignment with your unique version of success, and genuinely like and love yourself, then Walk Your Walk is literally created for you. I will put the sales page in my link in bio after this, but I've had so many clients give me positive feedback saying like I really helped them change the way they relate to themselves and connect to themselves. And my clients have also told me that I take complicated concepts and simplify them. And I've also been told that my astrology and human design insights lead people to take action. And so, if that is the vibe, if that's the support that you're needing, I truly believe you can do it on your own. I really do. And if you do want that support, that space, non judgmental space, accountability, someone in your corner supporting you week to week, work with me and check out the sales page. And if you don't want to do a whole 6 week thing, I also have one-on-one sessions available, a podcast, and a free meditation. So there's a way to connect with me at every level. So it looks like no one is requesting to come on live and receive some hot seat coaching. Shout out to Max for being vulnerable and being so open. I love and appreciate that. And thank you to everyone who has come. Oh, I think we got a question. But yes, thank you for everyone who has come live, whether it's, you know, for a little minute or you've hung out the entire time. So Heaven says, I'm too anxious to go on cam, but I'm thinking about doing a soft launch in 90 days. I want to ask my family to invest a little money to help me. What are the vibes on that? Yeah, so I know you're a Libra rising. So Mars is the ruler of your second house and your seventh house. And Mars is going to be going retrograde in your 11th and your 10th house. So this is probably connected to your Mars storyline, in my opinion, this Mars retrograde storyline. Mars has not hit shadow. Mars will hit shadow, I think, around 18 degrees of Cancer until 6 degrees of Leo. That's the degrees that it retrogrades. I think that being assertive, asking for what you want, like practicing those skills. What is it that I really want? Why should they invest in this? Like, give them reasons. If someone's an angel investor, I think about 11th house. These are like our patrons, the people who support our hopes and dreams and our wishes. And you have Leo placements there. So there is this energy of like beneficiaries. And the ruler of your ace, which is like eighth house, one of the themes is investments and other people's money, is in your 11th. I have photogenic memory for charts. Don't be minding me. And you also have Jupiter in the 11th, which is your benefic sect, your day chart. So love to see Jupiter there as well. And at the same time, your second house is ruled by your malefic out of sect, which is Mars. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have Mars and Leo, right? Yeah. Anyways, I just think your way to navigate this to support your launch is like get clear. What are they investing in? Why should they invest? And like, what would that do for you? What would that mean for you? Both like on an emotional level and like on a practical level. And I think that might allow you to, receive that support and that investment. 0 degrees of Libra. Okay, so first whole sign house. Yeah, standing up for yourself. Like you have Mars in detriment in your first. So like stand up for yourself. I think Nikki is also Libra rising with Mars in the first house, and like standing up for herself is a theme that is present. So both of y'all stand up for yourselves and ask for what you need. Get that clarity and do it. Okay, that is my insight onto that. So I have answered everyone's questions. Last call for questions. Otherwise, I'm going to end this live. Oh, got you. Another question came through. Okay. So can you talk about my gate 55? It's my conscious sun 55.2, and I'm still trying to figure out how to be that and harness that. Yeah. So gate 55 is the first gate of Pisces, and it is called the gate of abundance, the gate of spirit. And yeah, so those are some of the initial things. And this is such a um, big feeling gate. So this feeling, or this, let me gather my thoughts. Let me gather my thoughts. I'm going to look something up really fast. But yes, this gate is so powerful with its moodiness and the way it feels that even if you're not an emotional authority, you will experience some of those like emotional waves, those highs and lows. So that's something to be mindful of. And your moods give you information. And since you are a 2 line, your conscious line is a 2, I know that your incarnation cross is the personal life theme of the sleeping phoenix, which involves 55, 59, 20, and 34. So this is a really like transformational energy. And the second line needs space to hermit, hone in on the skills. There are things that you are so natural at that you don't even realize are skills. And like other people see that on you, that's the second line projection, is other people are like, wow, come out of your hermit shell and share this with us. And you get to honor your emotional authority or sacral authority, whichever one that you have. I see that you're a mini gen, to understand, when do I want to come out and share my natural gifts, and when do I want to retreat and work on them in private or with one significant person, or people that I feel safe with. And this is like 55, 59. There's this like intimacy for life and just spiritual intimacy and spiritual understanding. And so, yeah, really honor your moods. This is a really romantic, dreamy, creative, spiritual, abundant gate. And it's the gate of abundance and the gate of spirit, because we're not here to just be happy. We're not here to just be this one emotion. We're here to experience the full spectrum and abundance of emotions. And that, is what this Pisces Sun in Gate 55, line 2, is all about. Yes. Okay. So if you love this, I highly recommend booking a session or checking out my podcast, working one on one with me. This could be us, like every single week, helping you create change and work towards your unique definition of success, zap into alignment, and walk your walk. So lots of love. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone who's here, and have the yummiest day. Bye.